and Net Control will acknowledge you. If an emergency should arise and you need a repeater, please contact the Net Control by saying break break. A double break signifies emergency traffic. The Net will stand by for you until the emergency is terminated or the traffic is moved to another frequency. Stations who wish to check in are asked to respond with their full call sign using the recognized ITU phonetic alphabet and their name. I will recognize each station before continuing. Any station who wishes to check into the Net, please come now.
This is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta, Carroll, Citrus Heights.
Oh, well, good evening, Neil, again, KL7HQR. I got you, and I heard Carroll, Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta. Good evening, and thanks for checking in. Do we have anyone else checking in this evening? Okay, well, it'll be fun. Let's see, Neil, I'm gonna check in with you to see if you're ready to transmit yet.
Give me a second, we'll be ready.
All right, well, same here. I wasn't ready to transmit, so I'll stand by for a moment. Net Control standing by, N6NA.
Okay, this is PV-120.
Well, all right, Neil. I was able to copy a great photo. I'm going to say that I was able to copy the photo. It looks like two insets, one with a photograph of Apollo pilot Michael Collins on the left in his space travel suit, and on the right, I can't recognize a down-to-earth guy. It looks like a scan or photograph of a newspaper or a Houston Chronicle article, so December 26, 1990. There must be some significance there. So that's what I can see. Can't read the text of the article even when I blow it up full size, but I can read all the text underneath Michael Collins. at 1930 to 2021. Boy, that's today. I didn't watch the news today. Did something significant happen today, Neil? So that's my question. And also, let us know the significance of this photograph for you. And I will turn it over to Carol, KP4MD.
Okay, this is Carol, KP4MD. The picture came over very well, as you can see on what you see on YouTube is what I received. A few colored pixel pops here and there, but otherwise pretty clear. I did catch it on the news today that this astronaut had passed away. He was a good 90 years old, as you can see there. And if I'm not mistaken, he was on one of the Apollo missions that landed on the moon, except he was up in orbit while his crewmates actually landed on the moon. So that's what I have. Back to net control. This is KP4MD.
Well, all right. Thanks for that update, Carol. I guess it'll be a quick round. We're used to seeing Joel, AI6DG. We're going to miss him tonight if he isn't checking in. So I'll drop and see if anybody else is out there. Do we have any late check-ins? Well, all right. I think, thanks, Carol. So, Neil, how about this? You're up, and so let us know all about the photo you sent. Thank you.
Thank you. This is KL7HQR. Before I do that, I just noticed that I had turned on the CW identification. Going to try it on HF. Is that detrimental when we go to the repeater? Should I turn that off? Maybe Carol?
I'm sorry.
Description. I think Carol is busy with YouTube, and we can talk about it when it comes time. Let me know if I should turn that CWID off. As to the picture, yes, unfortunately, I had another picture all ready to go for tonight when I found out that Michael Collins had passed away. And Carol is correct. He was a command module pilot for the Apollo 11. He went along with Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, was the first landing on the moon, and he was being the command module. Buzz and Neil went down to the surface, and he stayed around the moon. After that, he became the curator for the Air and Space Museum up in Washington, D.C. The picture on the right-hand side is the Houston Chronicle in December 26, 1990. He was signing books, and it's the first time that we met him. The lady talking to him is my wife, Sandy. And the inset, the little picture, you can see myself on the right-hand side, a lot younger, and my son, Fred Jimenez, talking to him for a while. And the description just says that he went to this library to sign books, and to the left is Fred Jimenez, age 11, who indicated that he would like to go into the space program. And he's now a member of the Johnson Space Center, so it's very good. Very significant for us. It was the first time we met him, and we met him several times after that. So a sad day for us, but a great man. Back to Nat.
Well, that is significant. That is definitely an interesting story, and congratulations to getting your 11-year-old up and out there into the space at Johnson Space Center. So that's really an awesome story. Thanks for sharing that one. Let's see. So you he signed some book for your son. Is that what he did at the library?
He was signing books for the populace, for the public. Just about every time a new astronaut boat came up, they would go to this library and sign, and you would go by the book, and they would sign. And but since I was working with the simulator there, I ended up, and he was there in the area quite often. We ended up meeting him several other times. And Sandy, I was taking a picture, and or another picture, and Sandy, the wife, was the one talking to him at that point. So, yeah, it's you can see how old I am now.
All right, Neil. Carol, did you have any follow-ups?
No, thank you for sharing this bit of history. I appreciate that. Just KP4MD.
Likewise, thanks for sharing. That is pretty cool, pretty profound. So I have something I can send now, I think, but I'll check with Carol, KP4MD, to see if she's ready to transmit. If not, I can take my turn now. So go ahead, Carol, if you're ready. Tell us what mode you're in, please.
Okay, yeah, very good. This is going to be PD120, PD120.
Carol, it's November 6th, Echo Mike Foxtrot. No transmission.
Oh, yeah, it's not going out. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'm going to have to restart my MMSSTV. Try one more time.
All right, standing by. Neil, what does your son do at the Johnson Space Center?
He works there with data and documentation control for a subcontractor on site. I worked there for 12 years and took him around the site with my badge. Now he takes me around with his badge.
Wonderful story. Was that Carol testing tone? All right, Carol. Well, I was able to copy a nice photo. Came in real nice and clean this time. It's just a little bit of pixel pops, but I get the big picture. And since I went first last time, I'll turn it over to Neil first. KL7HQR. Were you able to copy the photo, Neil?
KL7HQR. Yeah, very good copy here. Only a few dots, primarily on the easel there on the paper, and two gentlemen who just finished robbing a bank since they're having masks on. Two persons, with masks on, and sitting what appears to on a bench in a park, on a corner where the light is green for the traffic. Beautiful green trees in the background. They have a little round table with a small ham radio, and they seem to be operating for the public. And there's the ARRL sign. I cannot read anything on the easel, but I recognize the sign. And they have thumbs up, so looks like things are going okay. So a very good copy, Carol.
Yeah, I would agree with almost everything you said. I just want to make sure they're operating for the public and not for profit.
I'll let Carol to take care of that.
Yeah, it looks like JoJo, KN6HTD, and with the way the other ham there is covered, I can't tell who it is. So we're going to have to find out who that is behind the mask. I just can't tell. It's kind of blurry. I can't really see the eyes, and can't see the hair, and I don't want to guess. So my apologies, Carol. You'll have to tell us who the other person in the photo is. I'm pretty certain that's JoJo on the right. And but it looks like a nice day on the air in a public location, which is really cool. Nice work. Okay, so nice tree landscape in the background, sunny blue sky, and looks like you're at an intersection, a major intersection with some traffic control lights. So tell us your side of the story, Carol. N6EMF, Net Control here.
Yeah, okay, this is KP4MD. This is a picture. You got it right. That's JoJo. It's KN6HTD, and he has this portable setup that he brings with this mobile radio and a lithium battery, and that poster over there is ARES. That's the Amateur Radio Emergency Service. What he was doing. Okay, am I dropping out? I think I'm dropping out here. I'm going to have to maybe raise my volume a little bit here so I don't keep dropping out. Anyway, he was Elmering, a brand new member of the club, KN6 Oscar Hotel Lima. Her name is Jen. She's a brand new member of the club. She joined the club and asked for somebody to mentor her on operating since she hasn't been on the air. So JoJo contacted her and they met over there outside a coffee shop down there in Sacramento, and he did a little face-to-face Elmering. So I thought this was a really nice picture. He sent this. This is actually part of a little write-up that he sent to get published. So that happened about 2 weeks ago, and you got the picture very well. Thank you very much. Back to Net Control. This is KP4 Mike Delta.
All right, KP4 Mike Delta, N6EMF, copied most everything you said. There were a few drops. I think if you're working on your audio level or your Vox, there might still be a glitch. But you dropped off when you stated Jen's call sign. I got the Hotel Lima portion of her suffix, but nothing else. But I got the essence of everything you were saying, and this is a wonderful display of Elmering. I'm inspired. So, yeah, thank you. Any comments, Neil?
No comments, except that I don't know Joe that well, so personally, I met him, I think, one time, but great great example, as you said, and it kind of makes me feel like getting ready for field day. Back to that.
Yeah. So, Carol, who took the photo? Thank you, Neil.
You know, I don't. I actually I raised my microphone level a bit. I think it probably will hold the Vox better. I'm not sure who did. It might be set on a timer, selfie, or maybe Jojo brought somebody along who took their picture. Over.
Yeah, very good. I think he does use a tripod sometimes, so that kind of makes sense. By the way, I won't go off too far, but I did buy a tripod that I could use with my mobile device for the first time. So I might be 10 years behind schedule, but finally got myself a tripod for use with mobile devices. So anyway, thanks for that update, Carol, and I was just wondering if that might have been you taking the photo, and I guess not. So anyway, I'll follow up with JoJo and give him kudos for good work out there with new Gen Ham. All right, I think I'm ready to transmit a photo. I like the fact that we got two people-oriented photos out tonight. I have something else, so I'll go ahead and transmit PD50 just because it always surprises Neil how much resolution is available in PD50. So let's see how that works. N6EMF transmitting. Well, all right. I'll start with Carol this time. Any comments or questions on the photo?
Yeah. This is KP4MD. I see your Elecraft KX2, and it's got the iambic paddle plugged into the front there, and it's tuned to our 10-meter net frequency. I was wondering if you actually were using that on the net tonight. I had some difficulty hearing you probably because maybe you were using the low power. So very nice. Good to show that off, and I wonder if that's a microphone that came with it, that little hand mic. Back over to net. This is KP4MT.
All right, bingo, Carol. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. And let me get over to Neil. KL7HQR, were you able to copy?
KL7HQR, yeah, good copy. Of course, with the black background, the little pops are much more visible. And the display is not exactly in focus, but it's clearly readable on 28420. I'm glad that Carol mentioned the key up front. Now I understand what that is. I was trying to make up my mind. And I think that is similar, if not the same model of the one that Carol had and brought to the Fair Oaks Library parking lot that we were looking at. So congratulations. I know that you were making a decision to purchase one, and looks like not only you got it, but you got it to good use. Back to that.
All right, Neil, yeah, thank you. I ordered my KX2 sometime earlier in the year, maybe sometime after Christmas, and it took a while to get it, and when it came, it had some defects that needed to get, I had to get RMA'd, and ended up sending me another model of the same product, or rather another serial number of the same product. Yeah, this is the KX2. It's the baby sister to there- anyway, did I was on the 10-meter net this evening with it. I had it up to 10 watts power, but I unfortunately struggled with it. I was unable to come back and give a signal report because I had bumped the setting on there and switched it from upper sideband to lower sideband somehow and couldn't figure out how to get it back into USB. And there were a couple of other things going on, so I had to scramble and reconfigure my radio system so that I could get back out on the IC7300, the ICOM. But yeah, I've got my KX2 out of the box, and unfortunately, I lost everything I learned. I had been reading the manual, or while I was waiting for it to ship, and then it didn't really do me much good because it took so long to get it. And once it went back out for warranty repair, I ended up kind of losing everything. So I'm struggling with the radio, but learning how to use it, and it's kind of where I'm at. And yeah, that is the mic that came from Elecraft. I guess that's the MH3. But overall, I'm impressed with the radio. I think it's cool. So yeah, I think that's all I have for an update on the radio. And I thought it would be nice to send PD50, but it doesn't do justice. You can't see. I don't even think you can see the product number on the radio or the details. So that wasn't fair. I won't do that again unless there's a good reason to do PD50, but it would have been nicer to do PD120. That's about all I have to report on the radio, other than I have a lot to learn about it, and it kind of frightens me because I haven't tested everything since it came back from the factory.
I have a question, KL7H Square. You said you lost everything. Like, I assume you're talking about manuals and everything. I don't understand. If you did, most of the manuals are online, but did you send the manuals and everything back with the radio?
Well, that's a great question, Neil. I think, and I apologize, I didn't articulate accurately that I felt like I was reading the manuals, trying to get a head start on learning how to use the radios, but it just didn't do me any good because I was reading the manuals, but it just didn't. It didn't stick because I wasn't practicing use of the radio. So that's what really happened, is everything that I read pretty much went out the window over the last 3 or 4 months since, I haven't really had my hands on the radio very much.
That makes sense. Now I understand what you're saying. Yeah, it's difficult. I did the same thing with my stepper antenna before I had it together, and I had to reread from scratch. And what kind of antenna were you using on 10-meter net? The same one you used with the 7300?
Yeah, I bypassed my my LDG, which is an AT200 Pro 2. It's an external antenna tuner. I got that out of the mix, and I used my my inverted V, my fan dipole that I homebrewed, and hooked it up to the KX2. My KX2, I had the automatic antenna tuner option installed. But what's worrying me right now is I can't. When they ship it from the factory, it's not configured in the settings, so you have to go through and set it up. And I didn't have that set. I'm in bypass mode because the radio thinks there's no tuner in it, and for some reason I can't seem to figure out how to put it in the automatic mode. And I hope it's not for the similar reason I had to send the other one back to the factory. Seems like the radio is not responding to certain button presses, but I don't know. Well, maybe I'll get that figured out. N6NA.
Roger, thanks for the answer. Back to Ned.
Well, all right. Carol, did you have any comments or questions? I'm in the KX club now.
Yeah, welcome aboard to the KX Club, and don't feel bad. I mean, my KX3, I usually don't get to use it intensely until I go on the expeditions to the Caribbean, and it turns out that I have to go over the manual a lot too because I don't use it every day. Maybe what I'll do is like a couple of weeks before I intend to use it, just to practice with it more so I'm more familiar. I mean, there's so many different features that are packed into all of those buttons, depending if you press it for a short time or a long time, and if you do a double press. And some of that stuff, I guess they try to make it intuitive to where they locate the buttons underneath the controls that they're related to. But still, you want to do one particular task. It's sometimes it takes a little head scratching to figure out and looking up what you need to do. Over.
Well, very good. I appreciate the encouragement. You're right. I mean, I got to use the radio more. I did get out on the 10-meter net today, but then it dropped off, and I had to switch to a different radio. But at least I proved it could get out on 10 watts. And actually, I wanted to report to you, Carol, I usually only hear you Q2, Q3, and sometimes I can't hear you at all from my QTH, and I'm not sure if the situation is improved today because of band conditions or sensitivity of the KX2, but I heard you like Q4 today, which is really unusual.
Yeah, I would say the reason for that is you've got a superior receiver in that radio because I didn't change anything here. I was just using a barefoot 100 watt Alinco on my vertical. So yeah, that receiver makes a world of a difference. It's very high quality. Over.
Yeah, it's amazing that it's not much bigger than a pack of cigarettes. I don't deal with cigarettes, but I mean it's really small, and it costs almost twice as much as my ICOM 7300, and yet it sounds better. It's amazing. All right, Carol, your Vox. You probably want to do a little bit more experimenting or testing there. You're sounding good, but you're still dropping from time to time. You noticed that too, Neil?
Yes, not too often, but a couple of times I did notice. Just a comment on what you guys are talking about. I have a 7300, and normally I get Carol here Q5, way above S9. And I turned my antenna all the way around, and I could barely hear Tom or her. I heard Bob very well. Could not hear you, but so I don't know. You must have really a good receiver because I could not hear Carol, and I am a lot closer to her. But of course, normally if I turn my antenna to Carol, I don't have as much with Bob, but. Anyway, I tried everything I could. So, back to that.
Well, good signal report. Yeah, I never hear Neil on the 10-meter net. I have never heard you on the 10-meter net. I think we've done some CW on 10 meters, and that worked a time or two. And I could do that with Carol. That worked really well. But we all know the effective radiated power or the effectiveness of CW is a heck of a lot more than phone. So. Anyway, I will. Unless you guys want to talk about other topics, I'll invite a few moments of conversation, if you'd like, on other topics.
The only other question I had was for Carol. As far as my CW identification at the end of the transmission, I enabled it, and I noticed that it was going off, and I don't know if that's good or a bad thing on the repeater. I set it on with the intent of going on HF. So, and I noticed that I did not notice a CW identification with either of your signal. So I wonder if I should turn it off for the net in the future.
No, there's no reason you should turn it off. I mean, you want to leave it on. It identifies for you. It's perfectly fine. I don't, for some reason on my MSSTV, some of the options went back down to the defaults. Maybe that's why it was stopped on mine, but I usually have it set to transmit. Go ahead.
Roger, thank you so much. I just didn't know, since it is keen, on and off, for the repeater, if that was a good idea or not. But okay, I'll leave it on unless I have a good reason to turn it off. Thank you, Carol. And I will just listen for a few more moments, and then I don't mind departing a little earlier from the net. Bob indicated that he was not coming in. I was hoping that Joel would come in, but we missed our company. Thanks, guys, and appreciate you guys putting up with my pictures. KL7HQR listening.
All right, Neil. Yeah, just so you know, every time I got a transmission from Carol, I see her call sign in my log, so it's coming through the audio somehow. And same with you. I am seeing your call sign come through. I'm not sure if you've seen mine, but anyway, I just want to say, yeah, we can get ready to close the net up, and so I'll drop for a second.
I definitely see your N6 EMF up on the top right of the picture. I just didn't take care of I didn't mention it.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant if your call sign was anyway. I might be confused about what you're asking, but I do know that when you send the call sign via CW, it's picked up in the log and SSTV on the receive side, and I did see that.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood completely what you said. Yeah, I noticed that Carol also shows that. Let me take a look at mine. Hang on a minute. Yes, I did get it, because it's sent digitally as well. But I normally don't see that because normally I have the received picture a white screen covering the whole screen, so I don't see the other parts of the SSTV. So, but anyway, it's there digitally, no problem.
All right, good. Well, if nothing else, I will motion to close in just a moment. We missed Joel, AI6DG, and the rest of the cast. PGQ, Bob out there, and if they're listening, want to wish them a happy Wednesday evening, and hope to see them next time. And even Tom Cutter, W6BS. So, hello, guys, if you're watching, and want to express appreciation to all the folks out there on YouTube that are appreciating the cast here. And thanks to Carol for running the YouTube channel. And for now, I will say thanks to all who participated in tonight's SSTV Net, and we hope to see you again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. The net is officially closed at 9:38 p.m. Pacific Time. This is Wilson, November 6th, Echo Mike Foxtrot, wishing all of you a good evening.